Mark, if we could just, do we have Emily Couch in the room?
Yeah, I'm right here. Can you hear us okay?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. Emily Couch as counsel, and I have Kevin Sheehan with me as primary witness for Hilltop.
Okay, great. And you said, what was the name again for the primary witness?
Kevin Sheehan.
Okay. Great. Will anyone else in the room be testifying that you're aware of now?
Possibly Mark Fallhaber in the event of technical questions.
Okay. How do you spell the last name on that?
F as in Frank, AULHA, B as in boy, ER.
Okay, great. Welcome, everyone. It looks like we have a couple of people under Lisa MC.
Hi, this is Lisa McCormick, AmRise, and with me is Mark Brookwicki. We are in the Dundee, Michigan AmRise office.
Okay. And you said the gentleman with you is Mark?
Yes, it's Mark Brookwicki, and I'm in the office here with Lisa, with AmRise.
Got it. Could you spell your last name for me?
BRUCKWICKI.
Okay, great. Welcome.
Thank you.
I see we have Wes Menzel here from the City Planning Department. Welcome, Wes. And then Steve Williams.
Hi, David. I'm Steve Williams with AmRise.
All right, great. Welcome. And finally, Charles Town.
Hi, David. Yeah, Charles Town with AmRise as well.
All right. Welcome, everyone. Are we expecting anyone else to join us here on the applicant owner side of things?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Fantastic. Let's see. I think then we can go ahead and get started. I need to read through our hearing script. This is just going to cover the procedure for the hearing, and then we'll begin. So this is the November 19th, 2025 session of the Zoning Hearing Examiner docket. Again, my name is David Sturkey. I'm the Zoning Hearing Examiner for the city, and I'll be presiding over the hearing today. The case before us is case number ZH20250116. And the address is 3270 Southside Avenue and 3280 Southside Avenue. The purpose of this hearing is to allow applicants and any other parties to testify and to offer and refute evidence and testimony. This hearing will follow the rules found in the zoning code and the supplemental rules of the zoning hearing examiner. All testimony and evidence that an applicant or any other party wishes to offer must be presented at this hearing. The hearing will proceed as follows. The applicant, the applicant's attorney, or the applicant's agent will first present the applicant's case. Ms. Couch, I'll allow you to orient that presentation however you would like. If you'd like to do something more formal where you do like a direct examination with opening statements or something like that for with your witnesses, you're happy to proceed that way. Or if you just want to turn the floor over to different witnesses and sort of quarterback it, that's good with you, or that's good with me as well. One of you can speak, all of you can speak. It's really up to you how you want to orient your presentation. If we did have anyone here from the public, they would have an opportunity to speak after the applicant has presented its case. I'll give Wes Menzel an opportunity to provide any testimony in addition to the staff report that he's prepared in preparation for this application. In the event that any party testifies or offers an argument in opposition to this application, the applicant will have an opportunity to respond to that testimony offered in opposition. Also, Ms. Couch, if there were a party here that testified in opposition to this application, you'd have an opportunity to cross-examine that individual as well. And then finally, the applicant will have an opportunity to make any closing statements. After all presentations have been made, I will close the hearing. Decisions may be expected within 2 weeks. I may limit or exclude any testimony that I deem irrelevant or outside the scope of the application being considered. I may interrupt any speaker to ask questions or to make any comments. In the event of any technical difficulties with the Zoom technology, I'll do my best to troubleshoot those issues as we go, but to the extent there's some defect that prevents us from meaningfully going forward with this hearing, I may continue or postpone the hearing at my discretion. Okay, the last thing I need to do is just swear in all of our witnesses. So, excuse me, anyone who intends on providing any testimony here, making any comments, asking any questions, really doing anything other than just strictly observing, the zoning code requires that I swear you in. So if that's you and you are not an attorney, I'll need you to raise your right hand now. I'll need everyone to answer out loud. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you shall provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
Okay, great. Thanks, everyone. All right, Ms. Couch, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, I am.
Okay, the floor is yours.
So just as a brief opening, before or as this project was contemplated, we were in discussions with the city about the uses. Both of these properties are actually on the dividing line between the RFM and the RFC zone on Southside Avenue. And we discussed and confirmed with the city that both of those respective uses are appropriate for their designation, meaning that all that's required for this project is the two, side yard setback variances. So I just wanted to put that on the record that that was confirmed by the city, and we don't need any, or we're not recommending any other relief to be sought other than these two side yard setbacks.
Excellent. That'll be noted for the record.
And I will start by calling Kevin Sheehan as a first witness. Kevin, can you state your name, position, and whom you represent today?
Yes, I'm Kevin Sheehan. Excuse me. I'm president of Hilltop Basic Resources. Hilltop is the owner of the property at 3280 Southside Avenue. And I'll be representing Hilltop.
Can you tell us a little bit about the project and how this project would be beneficial to Hilltop?
Yes, we have been, we're nearing completion of our concrete plant on Southside Avenue, 3280. Having started this odyssey back in 2017. One of the attractive things to this property for us was its proximity to the Amrise terminal, formerly known as Wholesome and Holnham. So we purchased one of the major ingredients in concrete production is cement. And the Amrise terminal next to us distributes cement. We purchase a good deal of cement from them and have over the years. The reason that this proposed project is attractive to us is we believe it'll allow us to more efficiently and cost effectively move the cement from their terminal directly into our plant. We estimate that we will reduce the number of tanker truck trips for the purchase of the cement by approximately 2,000 trips per year. So we will also have the benefit of less dust, less emissions, and less noise associated with the movement of those tanker trucks to our site.
Did you do any kind of community engagement as it relates to this application?
Yes, we spoke with the Riverside Civic and Welfare Club. Specifically, I spoke with Greg Lang, who is the president of the Civic and Welfare Club. Greg indicated to me that the club was going to be meeting within the week of our conversation, and in fact, did meet to discuss the project. And we have a copy of a letter that Greg directed to me indicating that the Riverside Civic and Welfare Club did unanimously vote in favor of this project.
And for the record purposes, this letter was provided to Mr. Sturkey earlier today, but in review of Mr. Lang's letter that's in front of you, does that appear to be true and accurate as to what you received from Mr. Lang yesterday?
Yes, it does.
Okay. And that is in support of this project, is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
Have you reviewed the staff report that was done for this project?
Yes, I have.
Is there anything in the report that you would clarify or change from Hilltop's perspective?
The only clarifying item that I would have is in the existing conditions where it talks about the parcels containing industrial structures related to cement production. The parcel that we are on, the 3280 parcel, is a concrete production, and the cement is actually being distributed on the 3270 property, not being produced there. So clarifying language would just to say that it's concrete production and cement distribution in the existing conditions language.
Aside from that clarification, would you like the staff report and its facts and conclusions to be incorporated into the record and adopted by the zoning hearing examiner?
Yes, I would.
Any other statements you'd like to make on behalf of Hilltop in support of this project?
Just that we're looking forward to the opportunity to work closely with a very valued vendor of ours and to begin producing concrete at this Southside Avenue site.
That's all I have for Mr. Sheehan. I'd like to proceed to call Mr. Steve Williams as a witness.
Sure.
Steve, can you hear me okay?
I sure can.
Awesome. Can you go ahead and state your name, position, and whom you're here to testify on behalf of today?
My name's Steve Williams. I'm here, I work for Amrise, and I'm here to testify for them on this project. I'm a market manager, been in the Cincinnati area for 25 years.
Can you tell us, briefly how this project came to be and how it's beneficial on the Amrise side of things?
Sure. Through discussions with Hilltop from back when they were looking for a new location when they moved from downtown, the idea of a direct transfer was something that was, I guess, engaging to us both. And the benefits for Amrise, of course, Kevin mentioned the environmental. So when you take off 2,000-ish trucks off the road to make the normal transfer of cement from our terminal to a customer's plant, that's a nice significant reduction in CO2 emissions. But also it's a safety benefit as well. You know, we both have terminal teams on our sites at Amrise and at Hilltop. So we can reduce by 2,000 tons of traffic each year of those tankers running to and from the terminal. So it's a nice safety boost as well. And then, of course, Hilltop's been helping build Cincinnati for 80 plus years. And the ability for us to partner with them with this direct transfer and the efficiency that provides us both was something that's we're interested in as well. So I guess, Emily, those things, the environmental, the safety, and then the ability to grow and be a further part of Hilltop's Cincinnati build for the next 80 years was very interesting for us.
Can you describe briefly what Amrise's operations are on Southside Avenue?
Yeah, and the broader Amrise is a North American building solutions provider with various products like cement, aggregate, roofing materials. 1,000 sites around North America, 18,000 people. So, but specifically on Southside, we've been there over 35 years, and we bring in cement powder by barge, and we pneumatically push that to our terminal and distribute it to customers that are making concrete or concrete related products.
So no cement production on that site?
There is no cement production. And thanks for bringing that up earlier about the amendment to line 3 of that paragraph. That would be nice to say cement distribution and concrete production.
And you're referencing the staff report when you say that?
I am. The existing conditions paragraph, line 3. After cement, if we just added distribution and concrete, squeeze that in between cement and production, I think that clarifies that we only distribute where Hilltop manufactures.
Understood. Would you consider Amrise's operations to be a facility of storage and wholesale distribution of merchandise and bulk goods on Southside Avenue?
I would, yes.
And then it seems like you've already reviewed the staff report, but is there anything other than that clarification or addition you just mentioned that you would change about the staff report?
I would not, and appreciate all the work clearly that was done to prepare this zoning relief request. I think it's a particular name of it, but yeah, you can tell some people put some time in, so appreciate their work on it.
And with that, just one clarification that we talked about, would you like the staff report, its facts and conclusions incorporated into the record and adopted by the zoning hearing examiner?
Yes.
And then do you have any other additional statements you'd like to make on behalf of Amrise as it relates to this project?
No, I'm just excited to get this approved and help the building of Cincinnati over the coming years with Hilltop.
think that's all I have for Mr. Williams. And then Mr. Sturkey, I would just, obviously after Mr. Munzel gives his report from the staff report, move to admit that into the record, along with the testimony providing clarification as to just the language there between cement and concrete. And then I do want to reserve in the event of technical questions. I do have Mr. Fallhaber and Mr. Brookwicki on the call to answer those technical questions if they come up.
Sure, absolutely.
And that's all we have.
Okay, I have one question right away. Could you describe the actual structure in a little bit more detail? And just to be clear, this is going to be a conveyor system that's going to cross parcel lines and distribute these materials from one site to the other?
Hey, Mark, can I have you answer that?
Absolutely. Yes, when we're talking a conveying system, in this case, it is a pneumatic conveying pipe on supports. So the supports are intermittently spaced at 20 to 25 feet. The actual structure running across the between the properties is a truss that supports the pipe as well as the pipeline itself. Pipeline is an 8-inch diameter pipe. Don't have the exact dimensions of the truss, but it's sending that pipeline spanning from our property, well, from our starting point to their property in the building for receipt. And how that's used is the cement is pneumatically conveyed, so air pressure is used to push the cement through the pipeline from our transfer system into their silo.
Got it. Okay. And the structure, well, the proposed relief is for a 0 side setback for this equipment or the conveyor equipment structure. Could you describe what structure will actually be on the 0 setback there? If you haven't already.
I'm sorry, I had a little trouble hearing you. You said you wanted to describe what the structure is?
Yes. The structure that's going to be the structures that are going to be at the 0 lot line. Can you hear me okay?
Could you hear a little better? Sorry, our air conditioner kicked on. It's a little difficult to hear.
In Michigan, your air conditioner kicked on?
Okay. Mark, can you hear me any better now?
A little bit, yes.
Likely, yes.
Okay. I'll try to speak up, and anyone else in the hearing can feel free to jump in if I'm not describing this correctly, but my understanding is that there are 2 conveyor structures that are going to have 0 foot setbacks on the 2 parcels.
Yeah, I think to more clearly describe that is the one side of the property has a 10-foot setback and the other has a 5-foot setback. The expectation is we'll have structural supports for the pipeline and the truss, which will be beyond those setbacks generally. So the only structure passing into those setback areas will be the pipeline and support truss itself.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. Did anyone else want to weigh in on that before I go to Wes? Okay. Wes, anything you want to add here?
Hi, nothing really other than maybe if you look at the staff report, page 6, it does show kind of some images of what the structure would look like with the conveyor or pipe, I guess it is, you know, at the top of the being supported by the trusses or whatever. So it's kind of hard to visualize with words. So
Sure.
But then that crosses the parcel line, even though it's like one piece of metal or whatever. So
Sure.
I don't have any other comments. Thanks.
Okay. Did the zoning department do any analysis or make a determination on whether any sort of covenant or legal instrument is necessary for the system to cross parcel lines?
No, I think we were thinking of it just how we might think of a house crossing a parcel line or some sort of structure that by default, since it crosses the parcel line, then the setback is 0 at that shared point where the parcel line is. Like,
Okay.
I don't know, it's kind of abstract, but
Okay.
the idea that it's shared as a shared piece of equipment or something, that I think it's more into the private property, you know, the owners should figure out that part of it, I think. I don't know, but
Okay. All right. Thanks, Wes. Appreciate your testimony and your work on the staff report. I'll turn it back over to Ms. Couch. Ms. Couch, anything you want to say in response to my questions or Wes's testimony?
No, we don't have anything further.
Okay. Ms. Couch, I guess I will ask you then, has anyone brought up the need for a covenant or some legal instrument to allow for this equipment to cross parcel lines?
Well, I mean, in our thought or thinking in this process is that there, an easement wouldn't be necessary because the parties aren't necessarily going to be crossing. It's just at the point that the parcels, this pipeline, in theory, Amrise is going to own everything up to their property line still with no easement onto the following property and Hilltop, from the opposite perspective. So while the pipeline itself is going to cross, I don't know that the property rights are being changed in any way as it would relate to an easement is kind of our thinking.
Okay. All right. Ms. Couch, anything else in closing or otherwise before we adjourn here today?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I think we can leave it at that. I've had a chance to review the application materials and the staff report, which will be entered into the record. Based on that, based on the testimony that I've heard here today, I think it would be impractical to strictly enforce the zoning code to this project. And so I am going to approve the application. I need to formalize that approval in a written decision. I mentioned at the beginning that typically takes about 2 weeks. I'll do everything I can to get that to you as quickly as possible, but just looking at my calendar here, I know that we have a holiday in between now and 2 weeks. And so if it's a couple days past that, it wouldn't surprise me just based on the current queue of cases that I have. But like I said, I'll do everything I can to get that to you as quickly as possible. As soon as I finish that, I put it into a PDF and I will email it to everybody in the hearing. So you'll have a copy of it really just moments after it's complete. Once Wes sees that email, he can approve the zoning permitting on his end and you all can take the next steps. Any questions about any of that?
Nope, I don't think so. Thank you, Mr. Starkey.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. Thank
thank
you
you.
all. Good luck with the project, everyone. Hope you have a great day. We're adjourned.
Thank